So the most obvious industry plant in the history of the entire world, an absolute bumbling fucking idiot, gives an obvious Nazi salute and during one of his speeches, and people react how they were programmed to react, right? They get triggered. And he did this for obvious reasons because he was told to. Now, why somebody put him up to this? Well, I suppose that's multifactorial and a lot more difficult to answer. But I mean, it's probably just part of this ongoing bullshit spin cycle. You're supposed to be triggered, you're supposed to be bickering, you're supposed to be saying all kinds of stupid shit, getting into your feelings instead of, organizing and exercising whatever power you may have, instead of talking about that, which really matters. You got a whole bunch of, I mean, come on, man. I'm not getting into this discussion of, he's got Asperger's, it wasn't really what you think it was, or that's for the birds. That shit is stupid. It's obvious what he did, okay? And look, if you have a halfway intelligent influencer that you like to listen to and you think is telling you something worthwhile, and they're defending this shit, I mean, either they're completely ignorant or dishonest or a combination of the two. They can't be trusted. I'm not saying people don't make mistakes, that they're not allowed to make mistakes. Sure. But I mean, anybody who still engages, I'm not saying dabbles in, but like makes it their entire existence here in YouTube or anywhere on social media to talk about the left right fucking paradigm is either an obvious fucking shill, a grifter, or just ignorant. A waste of fucking time, okay? This whole left right paradigm shit was played 20 years ago. Everybody knew how garbage the whole thing was. People who claim to be awake and in tune with what's going on told you a long, 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 long time ago that shit is bullshit. Except back then it was, pro-abortion, anti-abortion, and all these other issues that I'm not saying are completely unimportant, but they're not the most important issues, and they're just used to divide you, and that's what this is. This idea that this fucking idiot is a Nazi when he doesn't even know what that means. This idea that he's somehow a racist when he's really just a eugenicist. I mean, none of it makes any fucking sense, people. I think this was supposed to be a dog whistle, but he's too even fucking dumb to pull that off. It was just so blatant and obvious. So he was at the AFD rally a couple days after this, I think, or made a remote appearance on the big screen. And what did he say? Oh, he said that I'm not. This isn't verbatim, right? But this historic German guilt, it needs to be done away with, or it's overrated, or it's unjust, unfair. That there's, Germans should be proud of their history. Something along the lines of it's okay to be German. It's okay to be white. A fucking dog whistle to throw a bone to these fucking retarded alt-right jokers who are just part of the problem. They don't have any solutions. They're not powerful enough. No one's ever going to take them seriously. They will never bring about any worthwhile political change. They're just there to stir shit up and fuck things up for people who actually mean well and are perhaps able to do something, would be able to do something if they were not thrown in the same um, if they weren't being associated, right, with these absolute fucking alt-right retards, right? That's how, just like Alex Jones is used to discredit truth speakers, the alt-right is used to discredit people who have their heart and minds in the right place and they know what's right, the true right, right? And it's, these idiots, these groups are being used to destroy any kind of constructive conversation. It's basic, stupid, fucking simple. That divide and conquer that we figured out a long fucking time ago, and we were supposed to move past this bullshit. But no, these days everybody's fucking woke. They're not awake. They're just woke. Bunch of triggered fucking idiots. It doesn't matter whether they're on the right or the left. It's people were waking up, and the internet was a great tool to help bring that about. And things were happening, so they had to take control of it. They had to take control back. And I mean, look at Musk. He's a prime fucking example. Didn't he buy Twitter not that long ago? Promised free speech and started censoring people. Started tweaking the algorithm to push certain ideas. And this pendulum just swings left and right and left and right. Trump comes into office and throws a bone to the people on the right, declaring there are only two sexes and getting rid of all the stupid policies that the crazy leftists put in place. And that's going to be the flavor for a while, and then the pendulum will swing back the other way, and it'll just keep going back and forth. And instead of having a real constructive conversation about shit that's meaningful and actually impacts your life in meaningful ways, people are going to get sucked into the same bullshit ass spin cycle. So fucking frustrating. Look, the Andrew Wilsons of the world and the Pierce Morgans and Alex Joneses and Joe Rogans and whoever the fuck else that I don't pay any attention to. So long as they're talking about and basing their existence here online on this whole right wing, left wing paradigm, they're leading you down the wrong fucking path, man. They're not good people. They're just not good people. It is what it is. Fucking hell, man. To see people defending this and to engage in this stupid, retarded conversation. Oh, it was, his mental illness, or I don't even want to go there. It's so fucking stupid. It was the Roman salute, and oh my god, it's so fucking pathetic. You guys suck. You're horrible. And you'll burn in hell for this. And all this other bullshit that you're putting out there. So a long, 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 long time ago, right? The Nazis and the Soviets, so basically the leftists, signed a pact to divide Central Europe between them. for what should be fucking obvious reasons that people should be talking about. Why is it that all these world wars, and it looks like they're cooking up another one? Why is it that two that we've had so far have been fought in the same fucking geographical location? Fought over the center of Europe. Why is that? Right? Ask Elon or Andrew Wilson. Ask them. So yeah, these commies and Nazis sign a pact to divide Central Europe between themselves, and I don't know what happened exactly. Somebody got a little bit greedy. They both maybe did, and the left always consumes itself, and they went after each other, and the U.S., thank God, came out as the winner, right? And both of these leftist hydras, if you will, got put in their place, if only temporarily. But as they were dividing or deciding to agreeing to divide Europe between themselves, they also decided to persecute the Jew, right? And signing more pacts, treaties, contracts, basically, to create the state of Israel, right? These leftists created this shit, right? The state of Israel is Germans and fucking Russians. You want to call them Jews? I don't give a fuck. I don't care what God they pray to. That's primarily who they were, right? Polish, Russian, Eastern European, German Jews, right? Central European Jews, Central Europeans, whole bunch of white people from Central Europe got sent to Israel. And with them, they brought the same sort of leftist ideology, right? Nazism, basically, their ethno state with this like new and strong, muscular Jew soldier that was no longer going to be put down by anybody, right? That was Hitler's Übermensch. Their kibbutz system was Lebensborn, right? It was their fucking socialist breeding program for this Übermensch, the super Jew, right? Their the whole creation of Israel was very much like the German concept of living space. And then you had the whole idea of, the special chosen people, again, ethno state, with now the Middle Easterner being the Jew, if you will, right? So they basically took National Socialism and transplanted it into the Middle East and started fucking shit up in the Middle East, causing problems as if those people didn't have enough trouble, right? Started causing all kind of trouble there, persecuting the Semite and sending him back to fucking Europe. And now, because those guys are pissed off, and it's like the worst of the worst. They've basically been brainwashed and conditioned. They came from violence, and they brought that violence and their victimhood and their anger back to Europe, and causing an obvious fucking reaction, right? It's just the same fucking cycle over and fucking over and over and over, and no one's fucking talking about it, and it's pissing me the fuck off because this is so basic and fucking simple. So now you got the Muzzies wreaking havoc in Europe, and half of those terrorist fucking attacks are probably orchestrated anyway. Well, all of them are, really, if you think about it. So that's now giving rise to, once again, the same type of shit that you saw happening in Germany. Central Europeans are once again fucking victims. And they're being radicalized and losing their shit, not realizing just how fucking manipulated they are. So you got these idiots like Musk being put up to this shit to stir up this sort of sentiment. It's just to get people killing one another. So these fucking cunts that rule the world can carry out their agenda unobstructed, and they can use you as a fucking excuse to take away your rights because you can't be trusted because you're a radical. You're liable to just go blow a whole bunch of people up. You're a racist. You're just a bad person. You need to be controlled. You need authoritarianism, totalitarianism. You need to be controlled because you're a loose fucking cannon. You're crazy. You're a radical. What? This is so fucking simple, man. I get so angry sometimes watching this fucking circus with so many people sucking so much dick. Bunch of fucking faggots of these influencers that, whether they know it or not, are part of the problem. Instead of talking about that which is obvious. Well, but they can't because their channels are going to get demonetized. And they won't be able to grift. They're not going to be able to get 100 grand from Russia for their dumbass fucking videos. Saying some of the most retarded shit you've ever heard. Jesus. Help us all. So this fucking clown, right, is giving his speech at the and dog whistling in front of the AFD. Look, Elon Musk, he's the rocket man, right? Well, he's a fraud, but he's read a lot of science fiction novels and he's got, you know, an affinity for going to Mars. Fuck the moon, right? We're already there. They're already building all kinds of shit there, probably. That's why the moon landing was fake. This is just my opinion. The shit was fake so that, well, don't look up there, Sonny, right? There's nothing going on up there. Clearly a fake. We never went to the moon. In my opinion, not only did they've been going there ever since. And even though Musk is definitely not the guy to take anybody to Mars, that is the next frontier. For better or for worse. And, you know, this guy just has an affinity for science fiction novels and rockets and all this type of shit. And he probably looks up to the Nazi scientists that formed the core foundation of NASA, right? With Operation Paperclip. He probably looks up to some of those guys, considers them his heroes. He's Dutch or a descendant of Dutch, Deutsch, same shit, right? Germanic. This is his heritage, he feels. And, you know, when he speaks in front of a loud crowd and he feels that energy, seeing as he's watched a whole bunch of Hitler documentaries and you know, probably some Spielberg too, you know, his other favorite people, Germans, Jews. What's the fucking difference? Right? He gets in front of these crowds and he just starts feeling the energy, starts feeling himself, and just mimics what he saw on TV or something. You know what I mean? That's probably how simple it is for this fucking simpleton. I don't know. I don't give a shit. Like he just likes that culture. He likes to feel powerful and loved, and he's got all kinds of mental fucking issues. And he just responds to crowds the best way he knows how. And it was probably the same thing with fucking Hitler. That guy was mentally ill as fuck too. Like that guy was in charge. Get out of here. Come on, man. Anyway, so he's over there propping up the AFD, which is ostensibly anti-US. Okay, so how is this guy that was just instrumental in helping to elect Trump, right? I mean, I thought it wasn't cool to use social media to influence elections, but I mean, it's it's such a fucking dog and pony show. It's so fucking annoying, right? Oh, it's just so pathetic. I don't even want to talk about the obvious shit. Anyway, yeah, this fucking guy is speaking, propping up the AFD, which is anti-American, but he's supposed to be not only helping to elect the American president, he's supposed to be helping to make United States government more efficient, and yet he's there propping up an economic enemy of the United States that's really looking to trade with China and shit. So you make that make sense. What the fuck is going on there, right? And speaking of the AFD, I mean, just do like 10 minutes of internet research and you'll find, keep going down these various rabbit holes, and you'll find that they've been doing the same salutes on the DL a little bit, pretending like they're, I was just scratching my balls. You know what I mean? I was just waving to the crowd. I was just throwing my heart out to the crowd. You know what I mean? They've been caught up doing the same salute on numerous occasions. They've been caught up saying all kinds of crazy shit, like, you gotta gas the muzzies, all kinds of like crazy, stupid shit. Their leader, that wants to be the chancellor, I guess, of Germany, her granddaddy was a Nazi, responsible, probably, I don't know, for sentencing a whole bunch of Slavs. Okay? I don't give a fuck if they went to a Roman Catholic church or the synagogue. There were Slavs sending a whole bunch of them to, their deaths and things of that nature. And look, just because, the lady is descended from a Nazi, like, the was it the former Polish president or the EU, uh, the president, whatever he's called, right? President of the EU right now, or maybe Miss Merkel that he's related to, right? Just because these people are descended from a whole bunch of Nazis, right? It's obviously they're not the products of the Ubermensch breeding program, right? Clearly has nothing to do with that. I mean, just look at them. They don't look so Uber to me. Just like this guy, right? Anyway, uh, go research what his daddy is into. The types of things he believes we should be doing. I mean, you don't even got to do that. Just think about some of the things that Elon has said that we have to do to people in order to progress, I guess. He and his daddy were both eugenicists, are eugenicists. They're not good people. It's the same group of fucking people with the same types of ideas, just shape shifting. And anyway, yeah, the AFD is. I'm not saying they're Nazis, right? I'm not saying that at all. Maybe, I don't know, but they're definitely dog whistling, and they're catering to. There's certain sentiment that's in Germany right now because the German people are fed up with the shit that's been happening with all the immigration from the Middle East, right? And what's Putin doing via Lukashenko, right? Trying to send Islamists, Muslim migrants, into Central Europe, right? I mean, they're all doing the same shit. It's these policies, like, uh, I don't understand how people fall for this shit. This is so basic and simple. Anyway, yeah. So this AFD, which started out as the type of party that was mostly interested in economics, is now riding this anti-immigration wave because maybe they feel like that's their best hope of getting voted in, gaining some kind of power. They're politicians, right? So they're using this sort of sentiment, unrest, to get into power. All of a sudden, they're like trad and all this other fucking nonsense. When again, the lady who's in charge, whose granddaddy was a Nazi SS member, I mean, she's talking about, the nuclear family and how important it is for a man and a woman to raise children and, a traditional way, and that's the true German or human family, and all, the rhetoric, right? And I'm not saying I disagree, but the bitch is a lesbian raising two adopted children in Switzerland or something like that. Doesn't even live in Germany. And her answer to this criticism, like, wait, how come you don't practice what you preach, is, oh yes, I do. I am a wife to another wife, and you don't even live in Germany. These people don't believe any of the shit they say. I mean, some of them probably do. They're just using, they're triggering you and using you for political gain. And yet, geopolitics is a lot more complex, complicated than that. I get it, but I mean, that which is obvious is fucking obvious. So yeah, of course this was a Nazi salute. Duh. This was as Nazi of a salute as Nazi salutes get. Ugh. Oh yeah. Sorry, by the way, I was just throwing my heart out to you. Oh, like that other German politician. Right? I was just waving to I was just trying to get some attention. It wasn't a Sieg Heil. Get the fuck out of here. This is the same fucking dog and pony show. They're just looking to trigger people, stir up all kinds of radicalism and anger. They're just looking to divide people so people don't unite against them, the obvious enemy. They're just setting groups of people against one another because, well, guess what? War is fucking coming. Unless somehow somebody can stop this shit. Maybe it's Trump, I don't know. But I mean, clearly he is in the fucking swamp. He's part of it now. That doesn't mean that he thinks like them, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe he could be convinced. I don't know. I don't know. Don't trust the guy, but I mean, I do see a light at the end of the tunnel. And a good sign of Trump having his heart in the right place, or doing the right thing at least, would be getting rid of this fucking useful idiot. But I mean, whoever put him in power, whoever's pulling the strings that are attached to this fucking clown, clearly they're powerful. And clearly they use their power to put Trump in power. So what does he owe them? right? And how much of what he owes them is he actually willing to give to them? I don't know. Guess we're just gonna have to wait and see and find out. But this whole this shit's so basic on the surface, so basic and so simple. They've been running this fucking game on people, well, forever, and people just keep falling for this shit. The left-right paradigm, we figured this shit out a long time ago, guys. It's just basic bitch divide and conquer. Jeez. Thanks for watching.